Hey Pisces, welcome to your love forecast for the month of August 2019. This is a general reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I have to remind you guys because sometimes some of you get crazy in the comments about how wrong and how off it is. These are general readings, guys. There's like thousands of people on YouTube, so some of it may apply, none of it may apply, all of it may apply. It is what it is, okay? Check out your moon sign and rising sign videos too. Some weeks those are going to resonate with you more than others. But we're going to see what is going on for our Pisces friends. Sun, moon, and rising in the month of August in the area of love. If you're not a Pisces and you're just being sneaky, you're just snooping on a Pisces in your life, you are more than welcome to hang out and watch. It's not like I can stop you, right? But keep in mind, I do specific cross-watcher videos. So there's going to be a link in the description for those as well, right? So if you want to watch the cross-watcher videos after this, if you want to do more investigation, feel free. All right, my darlings. One more shuffle, and we're going to go ahead and pull your 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So the first card here, Pisces. Oh my God, look, it's you. Pisces, it's your card. We have the moon card coming up here. This is major arcana. So those of you who know, you know that the major arcana cards come up when there's a significant kind of moment of truth, a significant crossroads, an experience that's going to help you to grow, a significant soulmate. To have your own major arcana card come up though in a reading can sometimes signify that like your like Pisces-ness is a big part of your situation right now. Like you're really coming into the positive elements of being a Pisces, and a lot of your strengths are coming here out into the forefront, and that it's going to be benefiting you or helping you in some way. It can also indicate like a taking back of power. So if you had like lost your mojo, or if you like lost your groove in some way, or your confidence, you're getting it back, and you're getting it back in a very strong, significant way. Okay. I'm saying this because it's coming up like it's Pisces is associated with the moon. So another thing too, although I do think the moon can also apply to Cancer. It's a whole thing. I've seen people say it's Pisces. I've seen people say it's Cancer. But I'm not going to get into that debate. But, you all Pisces are connected with moon energy. You could be dealing with someone who's a significant soulmate, because a lot of the times when we have the major arcana cards come up, that's what it for me anyway in my readings. When I have a major arcana card come up in a love reading, it's telling me these are two people that they met for a reason, that there's some kind of a contract. And I'm looking at the major arcana card, tells me what the contract is. I want to emphasize and clarify here, Pisces, we have many soulmates, okay? Soulmate is not just one person. There's not just one magical special person set aside for every single one of us. We have some soulmates who are romantic. We have some soulmates who are not. And even with the romantic soulmates, we have many. Okay, we have many. This is my personal belief. And it's just something that's come to me through meditation. Is I think that each person has at least, some people have more, but each person has at least 3 significant loves or 3 significant soulmates that could be like forever life partners. And they come in at different stages of our life. And it's kind of up to us to decide like if we're going to take it or not, right? And some people will take every single one. Like they might have 2 or 3 marriages or 2 or 3 significant relationships. But, you have options. It's not like there's just this one person. But there's a significant soulmate that's coming in for some of you, indicated here by the moon card. And so the contract or the purpose of this person coming in, you might have some very deep emotions coming to the surface, like where you're really getting to know yourself better. You're like, wow, I didn't know that was in there, right? It could also be overcoming fear, overcoming illusion, okay? And allowing yourself to let someone in, allowing yourself to have an experience. So you could be with someone that's kind of causing you to take initiative in some way, or that's causing you to trust or to let somebody in, and that could feel uncomfortable for you. Okay, but this is a moment of growth. This is why this person has come into your life, to help you grow in this way. Your next card here, my darlings, is Knight of Wands. So I could definitely understand the fear element, right? Because Knight of Wands can be very intense, fiery energy. Some of you could be dealing with a Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, because this could be fire sign energy. But you know, this is a very passionate card. So some of you could be dealing with someone who comes in and out of your life a lot. Somebody that you have a very intense connection with, albeit it could be mostly a physical connection, because, you know, I've said this before in other videos, Knight of Wands, you know, he's not here for a long time, but he's here for a good time. So some of you are dealing with that kind of an energy. But another meaning with Knight of Wands, and this is kind of what I'm feeling more so in this case, more than like the in and out kind of energy. Knight of Wands could sometimes indicate an ultimatum. Like somebody's just kind of showing up and it's like, are we going to do this or what? Like, are you in or are you out? Or if you're going to be with me, this is how it's going to be. It could be somebody who's coming down and drawing a very, like, just like, this is the line. Like, this is it. Take it or leave it. Okay? It could be having to make a decision in a very short period of time, where you don't have a whole lot of time to decide. And if you wait too long to decide, the offer may not be on the table by the time you figure it out. So I could understand the fear element. Like, you might be nervous because you're like, well, I don't want to choose the wrong thing, or I don't want to choose the wrong person, or am I really ready to do this? Some of you may be feeling pushed into making a decision, okay? Some of you could be dealing with a partner who's really coming into like this take charge kind of element, which could be kind of like new, or like maybe you don't like it. But you know, this is very intense energy. We'll see what the other cards have to say and how they tie in together, right? But some of you are going to be dealing with having to make a big decision in your love life, and it might be kind of popping up in a very unexpected way. Like, well, I wasn't expecting that, right? You know, like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Like, that's kind of the energy I'm feeling. But your next card here is Two of Cups, right? So this is a soul connection, okay? You might be having to make a decision, but you might feel like, but this is the right person for me, or this is the person that I love. Two of Cups is a really special card, because to me, it has to do not just with a very significant romantic soulmate, but like coming into a healthy relationship. Usually in a lot of the other decks, we don't see it in this deck, but in a lot of other decks, it's the, God, what is, I always forget it. It starts with a C. It's, gosh, it's the medical symbol. It's the staff with the snake wrapped around it that we like see in doctors' offices. Usually the Two of Cups has that symbol in it if you look. So to me, it's saying that this is a relationship that's come in after a significant time of healing, where you've broken out of codependent cycles, where maybe your relationships in the past, like, you've done a lot to appease people. And God bless you, Pisces. I love you. I sure do love you. My best friend in the whole wide world is a Pisces. I've had many Pisces friends. You all can sometimes really fall into the trap of people pleasing. Where like you don't want to speak up because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, or you want to keep the peace, or like you're willing to sacrifice because you love somebody. And Pisces can sometimes really fall into that pattern where, like, in a relationship, they can even end up losing their identity, really, because there's so much like, okay, well, I'll go with the flow, or whatever you want. And you know, like, you guys can sometimes fall into that energy. But Two of Cups is like two people who are hearing each other and who are putting one another first. You don't have to do that. You don't have to abandon yourself. You don't have to lose yourself. You don't have to always be the one who's like compromising or sacrificing for the other. This is someone who's like, oh, but what do you want, Pisces? Well, that sounds great. I would love that. But what do you want? What makes you happy, right? So some of you are finally manifesting a healthy give and take relationship in that way. Like, even when you look at the card in between the Two Cups, it's like that flow in between. But one more thing I'm going to say real quick, and then I'll move on. I know some of you get really impatient. Move on to the next card. I will. Just let me say one last thing, because it's important to somebody, even if it's not you. With that Knight of Cups card, not Knight of Cups, the Knight of Wands card that came in, where it's like somebody might be taking charge or somebody might be coming at you with an ultimatum. You may have maybe in the past been tempted to just kind of snap or freak out or start crying or get angry or let them have it. But Two of Cups to me is a card of healthy communication. Like I see it come up for people where they've had a lot of relationships where the only way of figuring things out would be like to get into screaming matches or yelling or just like arguing or fighting, like just dysfunctional communication. But Two of Cups is like you're finally coming into a healthy communication. So whatever this ultimatum is, you're learning to stand up to it. You're learning to talk it out. You're learning to be true to yourself. You're learning to be authentic, but you're learning to address it first of all, like, you know, taking it head on, addressing it. See how they're looking at each other? They're face to face looking at each other, like you're facing it and you're speaking your truth, but you're also calm. Like you're in control of your emotions. You're not upset at the person. You're not yelling at them. They're not yelling at you. It's like, this is a serious thing, but we're going to talk and we're going to figure it out in a healthy way. So I do feel there's a really big shift happening for you in your relationship in that way. So your next card here is Page of Wands. All right. So there's feistiness here. There's definitely feistiness here. Some of you could be dealing with a situation having to do with a child, because the pages can indicate children, okay? And Wands is very fast-moving energy. So some of you could have a child or a stepchild who's being a little rambunctious and creating issues, but you all are somehow able to become closer as a couple as you're talking this out and figuring out what needs to be done in the situation or the scenario. Some of you may be unexpectedly expecting, and so that might be the ultimatum where you guys are trying to figure out what you're going to do, or, you know, what's going to work best for you guys moving forward. Page of Wands for me, though, also, and a lot of you who watch my videos have heard me say this, it's like the second adolescence card. It's like, you know, there's the high part of being a teenager and a low part of being a teenager. Like there's the part where you lock yourself up in the room and you're listening to like emo music and you hate yourself and you hate the world and you just don't want to come out ever and you want to sit in the dark. But then there's also the really high level of like teenager when you're really optimistic and you're really confident and you just can't wait to get old enough to where you can like leave your town and conquer the world, and you think of all of these big things you're going to accomplish, and like, you know, love and sex and all those things are very new and exciting, and you have such a zeal for life, right? So for me, Page of Wands is some of you are really coming into that energy. We did talk about how your card was coming in, about you coming into your power. So as this communication is opening up, as you're calling in the soul relationship or overcoming these obstacles, you're feeling like feisty or like powerful or like excited, like in a good way, right? And you're feeling motivated to go out there. Like life is enjoyable, life is new, there's things you're wanting to do, you're wanting to be around people, you're wanting to socialize, you're wanting to experience things, you're like finding or carving out a new identity for yourself. So a lot of you are, you know, getting this fiery energy back in some way, okay? Or this love relationship or love connection is helping you to connect with that part of you. Some of you could be reconnecting with a soulmate like from back in the day. Like maybe there's a high school sweetheart or somebody who's resurfacing, or somebody like from your teenage years. That could be indicated too here as the Page of Wands. Again, my dears, this is a general reading. I could have, you know, a couple thousand watch it. I could have 40,000 people watch it. It varies from week to week, and it's not going to be the same for every single person. So bear with me with the various scenarios. Your next card here is Nine of Wands. Okay? So this is saying something that you're working on, it's almost ready. It's almost done. It's almost in completion, right? Because 10 is being done. 10 is like, you know, mission accomplished. 9 is that you're close, okay? Some of you, and I think this might be for the majority of you, as you're getting into this confidence and you're wanting to go out and you're like revealing more of yourself and you're you know, allowing yourself to have these connections and these experiences, there could from time to time be a little bit of fear. Like you might start thinking that, oh wow, okay, this is why I was so moody when I was a teenager, because there was heartbreaks, or there was people that took advantage of me, or there was people that tricked me in some way. And you might begin, kind of a negative ego could be coming in and telling you, not to give this relationship a chance, or this relationship's not going to work out, or you can't trust or meet new people, and you might be tempted to start putting the walls up again because you're thinking about the past or things that you've been through. But Nine of Wands is a really cool message, because if you look at Nine of Wands, it's always a person that's got 10, I'm not 10, they've got 8 wands behind them, they got one that they're holding. And usually in most of the cards, you don't see it in this deck, but look up Nine of Wands in any other deck. Usually it's a guy and he's got his arm in a sling and he's got like a bandage around his head. Like he's taken some beatings. He's been through some stuff. Like we know he's got kind of banged up, but he's standing and he's okay. And every single one of those wands that are stuck in the ground behind him, he took away from someone that came to him and challenged him for a fight. Okay? Somebody came to him and challenged him to a fight, and he got beat up a little bit, but ultimately he took the weapon away. He stuck it behind him as like this little trophy or this little victory. So this guy has been through 9 battles that he has fought and won. Every single one of these wands are a defeated person who came at him when he was minding his own business, okay? When he was just being a decent person. But he overcame it and he conquered it. So the message with Nine of Wands is you may be defensive and you may be cautious and you may be waiting for the shoe to drop. But you've been through this so many times already, and there's nothing that anybody can come at you that you haven't already seen. There is nothing under the sun that you haven't already experienced. You know every manipulation, you know every lie, you know every red flag, you know every mind game. You've seen it. You've run the gamut. You know it all, right? So as long as you're allowing the experiences of your past to serve as, guideline for like what can happen or what kind of people are out there, and you're keeping your eyes open and you see those red flags, you can shut it down before it becomes a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 year on again, off again craziness with a person or somebody who's coming in and ripping out your heart and taking advantage of you, because you know the signs, right? So you don't have to be afraid to date, or you don't have to let this person in, because you already know what the red flag is. And if you see it, you can say, okay, thank you, but no thank you, I'm on to the next. You're not going to have to lose years of your life because you've learned that lesson already. Okay, it's interesting to me that you have this Nine of Wands coming up, because you also did have a Knight of Wands come up. So some of you are, again, a Knight of Wands could be somebody like coming at you in very fast energy with an ultimatum. So some of you are feeling a little bit challenged. And Knight of Wands is saying you don't have to be afraid of this challenge, and you don't have to be afraid of this person. Especially if you're trying to reconcile or heal something, or move forward in a relationship. You already know what the MO is here. You already know what the red flags are here. So as long as you're paying attention, you have nothing to lose, okay? Whether it's with a new person who's coming in out of nowhere, or someone you're trying to reconcile, you have enough experience to keep yourself protected and not get pulled into wasting years of your life. You don't have to be afraid to experience this or to try this or to see where it goes, okay? Now, for whatever reason, I decided to look at your shadow card on the bottom of the deck, and you have 8 of Wands. So this is communication. You all are hearing from a person. I do feel somebody is resurfacing, or somebody is expressing feelings for you or wanting to be with you, and the relationship is moving forward in a very, very fast way. So Nine of Wands is saying just keep your eyes open. That's all you got to do is keep your eyes open and act accordingly, and you'll be okay. It's going to be different for different ones of you. Watch your moon sign and rising sign video, again, because some weeks this is going to be resonating with you more, or just adding extra information. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do if you click on the Calendly link in the description of the video. And guys, don't forget about yourselves, Pisces. Loving, sweet, caring Pisces, always wanting to help everybody and do good and be loving to everyone. Don't forget about you. Watch your weekly forecasts that are focusing on everything other than love, right? Your spirituality, your finances, your personal life, all that good stuff. You and your journey. Don't forget about you and your journey. So the weekly forecasts, every single week, those go up. watch those, check those out. And the daily cards, every single morning and every single afternoon, there's a card. There's cards each day on my Facebook and Instagram, so check those out as well. Thank you so very much, guys, for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I am wishing you a fabulous August.